Okay, so this setup was an idea that I had months ago, several months ago. I was going to drive to, where was I going? Missouri. To a friend's wedding, and it didn't end up happening. The hurricane hit and I wasn't able to go, and but I had bought this mount because my idea was I was going to set the mount up in the car and live stream the drive, the entire drive. I thought that would be so cool. Now, the live stream was also going to be on Starlink, which I later learned would not have worked because just the way it was set up, the dish is so huge. My intention was to drive this car. That didn't end up working at all. I was going to change to the Cybertruck, but ended up not going at all because, the storm. So I bought this mount for this purpose and never got to use it, never have used it. And I thought, I don't get to do many vlogging while driving videos anymore because full self-driving. I can't sit here and hold my phone because the car will yell at me and says, no, you can't do that. Don't do that. But we are currently in full self-driving. I love that it's creeping up to actually look. It used to just go here. Horrible. But anyway, we are in full self-driving. We're going to the Mexican restaurant. And I thought this would be pretty cool if you can see anything. I haven't been able to proof test it. I can barely see the phone. I mean, I can see the mirror, so maybe you're seeing the mirror. I don't know. We'll see if this works. This is a RAM mount that was recommended to me for this purpose. The only issue is this is the longest version that extends down, so that's as good as it gets. But and why am I driving this car and not the Cybertruck? Well, because the Cybertruck's full self-driving is not quite up to date as this one. This one's not on the newest version because they've added hurry for city streets. I don't have that in here yet because I'm not updated. But there's no profiles in Cybertruck. There's no hurry. There's no standard. I'll do whatever I want to do and you'll like it. And it's okay, but this car's better. This car's way better. I have been using full self-driving exclusively in this car. I take it out of my driveway and full self-driving, and that's it. It takes me straight to my driveway back home, and then I take it out and drive through the gravel. And that's simply because it likes to go like 20 through the gravel, and I'll just do it myself. But other than that, great setup, great car, and I think full self-driving in this one is way better than, say, in the Cybertruck. This one, it hesitates sometimes, like right here, it slowed way down for no apparent reason. But when we get on interstate here, yep, I've already got it in hurry. I'm gonna bump it down because I don't want to go 85. And it should have no issues getting to and maintaining 80. Whereas the Cybertruck, especially at night, it gets a little scared and it will start slowing down and, not doing what I want it to do. So anyway, let's see if I can think of some things to talk about. My mirror's off. I'm going to adjust that right quick. Think of some things to talk about while we're doing this. I'm kind of getting behind on videos again. Thanksgiving just came up, and we've got Christmas coming up in a couple weeks, and so I've not been working on videos. I've not been really doing anything, and it's kind of put me behind. So what new do I have to share? Full self-driving. I don't know. I definitely have been using full self-driving quite a bit. I took the Cybertruck to Maine, which we did talk about that briefly. Full self-driving about 90% of the time. After that, I took it to Mars Hill. We rented a cabin for our Thanksgiving, and it snowed like 4 inches the night we went, so that was cool. Didn't really drive it at all in Mars Hill because I wasn't ready for snow. I didn't want to deal with that. So hopefully this is a good angle. I'm going to leave this tripod stuck to my moonroof, and I'll just take and remove the phone and put it back whenever I want. So maybe this will look better in the day. I don't know. From what I can see, it doesn't look so bad right now. So hopefully it's not that bad and this will be usable. Interstate is pretty easy for full self-driving, so I'm not really like, there's nothing to be wowed about here. But when we get off the interstate and it starts taking the turns and going out the back roads, that's where it's majorly improved from what it used to be. So used to with these, and I really hated it in this car, it would grab this left lane and it would sit right here all day, every day, no attempt to get over at all ever. And I hated that because I am not a left lane hugger. But now, latest update, it does get the left lane to pass, but if someone gets behind me, it sees them and says, hey, you know, maybe I should move over. And when it can, it moves over to let them go. Now, when you get slower traffic in front of you like we have here, not so much. Which is fine, because who wants to be in the right lane when this lane's slower? So anyway, yeah, that's what I've been doing. And then I've been focusing on trying to get my Christmas shopping done. I don't know what it is. Every year I say, oh, I'm not going to spend much money on Christmas, and then as the closer it gets, I'm like, I didn't buy anything. I really need to get to doing some stuff. And so this year I decided to I'm going to just head it off and go straight to, I'm going to spend this amount on everyone and go from there. And that's what we did. And I've just about finished. I've got all my Christmas shopping, at least most of it is ordered at this point. So just waiting on it to get here. So yeah, 64. This car will probably go now. We'll see if it picks back up. That's been another huge issue with any autopilot in general. Since they got rid of radar, it does not want to go. You know, cars will take off. Of course, they're not taking off now, but cars will take off and it'll just hesitate. It'll sit right here at 65 for a few minutes before it starts picking back up. Not crazy about that one, but I think in this latest update, they've made some considerable improvements. It doesn't tend to do that. So that car got over. This one's starting to speed up, and we are starting to speed up right away. No hesitation. I mean, yeah, he's kind of taken off, but I mean, he's accelerating much faster than I am. So it's getting there. It's really getting there. You know, if you had asked me 2-3 years ago what I thought about full self-driving, I would have told you. I did tell you, actually, that I didn't like it. I didn't think it was going anywhere. I didn't think that we were anywhere near full autonomy, and I wouldn't trust it. I like it for interstate. Interstate's great, but I don't know that I would trust it otherwise. And now, you know, 3 years later, here we are, and it's not that bad. And I kind of like it. Especially because it gets dark at like 5 p.m. and I do not like driving in the dark. It's just not, I'm not a fan. I can see just fine, and I don't know, it's just, I don't like the dark. I can see way better in the day. But, and so it is hesitating. It's not going all the way up to 80, but 78 is decent. That's 8 over the speed limit. That's probably where I would cruise anyway, so. But yeah, it gets dark early and I don't like driving at night, so I've been relying entirely on full self-driving to take me places. And the other night I wanted to go to Chipotle. I've had Chipotle 2 times my entire life, but I just wanted to go. So I jumped in the car and I punched in Chipotle and I hit go and it took me there. And I was so impressed by how it did everything. I mean, when we got off the interstate, you have to go to the right lane to turn right, immediately 3 lanes over to the left lane to turn left, and after you make that left, 3 lanes to the right back to make a right turn. It's a pretty hectic setup where Chipotle is, and it did it with ease. There was no question that it knew what it was doing, and it did it so quickly. Before I could even look and check my blind spots, it knew exactly where it wanted to go. So impressed. That alone really boosted my confidence in full self-driving. There are still some times where it's like, okay, that's not okay, and I'll take over just to make sure we're not going to hit something. But for the most part, it's great, and I'm really hoping for the whole point of this vlog. I wanted to talk to you, but I wanted to do a zero intervention drive. I wanted to see if it can take me to the Mexican place. I started you about 1 mile away from my house just because I don't like to turn the camera on right at my house. By the way, I have a car behind me, so we'll see if it moves over when it gets around this truck here. I don't like to start the camera at my house, but about 1 mile from my house, I started the camera, and I'm going to go to the Mexican place, which I believe is about a 15-20 minute drive-ish. You'll see in the video how long it is. Okay, it is moving over. That's cool. That's one thing it wouldn't do before, and I'm glad that it does it now. So, but yeah, I mean, so far, I haven't touched anything. I'm not, no gas, no brake, no takeover and steering, no signals. If I made a change, it would be, I would get it off of the 76. I would do at the very least 78, because this car is the one that's passing me now, or fixing to. This is the car that we passed a minute ago when we were doing 78, and now we're doing 76, and he's coming up on me going around me. Now there is a car in the left lane that he's not going to get very far unless he just, runs him over, but whatever. So yeah. So that's pretty much what's been going on. Not a whole lot. I came back from my main trip. We did our Thanksgiving. I've almost completely finished my Christmas shopping, and I've been FSDing everywhere I go. Not a whole lot has changed otherwise. I did order another Anchor product that I will be doing a video on. I've been getting a lot of stuff to do videos on, actually. I'll have to go over all of them in the future, but there's a company. So I wanted to get the seat covers for my Cybertruck, the white seat covers, because I really wanted white seats. But I was afraid to spend $350, $400 on these seat covers because I didn't want to, mess up my ventilated seats and they not work so well, and whatever else. So, okay, so this guy kind of come over on the line and it hit the brakes. I'm going to intervene there and stop it from hitting the brakes, because that's his own asphalt, and if he hits me, it'll be on him. So, anyway, so I guess that kind of counts as an intervention. Sorry. But anyway, I wanted to try them, but I didn't want to spend $350, $400 on seat covers that might mess up my ventilated seats or might make my heated seats work less. I'm willing to try them, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money on something and find out that I hated it. So, company actually reached out to me and said, hey, would you make a video in exchange for a free product? And I'm like, absolutely. I still check. Yeah, there's nobody coming. Absolutely, I'll do that. So they sent the seat covers to me. First impressions, I don't like them. But I am required to at least try them and make a video, and if I don't like them, I'll just take them right back off and say, nope, don't like them, not doing it. But it's pretty neat that I never imagined that, well, first of all, I never imagined I would have 2,600 subscribers, which I know in terms of other YouTubers, that's not a lot. But at the same time, for me, that's a lot. But I never imagined that at 2,600 I would be getting, okay, you have problems? I never imagined at 2,600 I'd be getting items to review and test and make videos about. And I have been getting a few, already made a few videos, but I do have several in the works, including those seat covers that I don't know. I opened the box and I tried to soft fit it just to see what it looked like, and I hated it. I was like, oh, that does not look good. But we'll see. I don't know. I mean, obviously when it gets warm one day, I'll try to put them on, see what they actually look like, and go from there. The car was dinging, but I didn't end up having to do anything. It just kept driving. So I guess it was couldn't see because the guy's bright lights or something. I don't really know. So I also got a screen that goes in front of the driver's steering wheel here, like back here, you know, like you would normally have in any other car, just kind of show your speed and stuff. I'm not crazy about that idea. It wasn't something that I definitely wanted by any means, but you know, it's one of those situations where the company's like, hey, we need somebody to make video about this, and here it is. You want to do it for free? And okay, yeah. So looked it up, and it's like a $400 screen. So I mean, maybe I'll make the video. I probably won't use it on a regular basis. And okay, we're not slowing down. Oh, there we go. I was starting to get a little worried because that's a red light. That's a solid red light. But anyway, it's probably not something I would ever use, but I could make a video just for the purpose of making a video if I have to. So yeah, we'll see. I've got a couple other things. I've actually forgotten what they are at this point, so. But I'm sure that there will be more videos coming. It's just right now, it's so cold. I went to Maine expecting it to be cold. And I was like, you know, I dressed really warm and I took extra clothes and I was like, it's going to be cold in Maine. And the whole time I was in Maine, it was not cold. And I wore just this jacket, just a thin little jacket. And I was like, this is fine. This is great. There's no problem. And when I came back home, I'm thinking it's going to be warm because it was warm when I left. No, it was very cold when I got back home. And the wind is blowing and the wind just cuts you in half. And we've gotten maybe 2 or 3 warm days out of the whole time. So yeah, pulls right in the parking lot here. Now, obviously I'm not on FSD 13, so it's not going to park for me. But, just looking to see, that's a handicap. We'll park right here. So yeah, all right, well, I talked your ear off. I will record going back home, but I probably won't have as much to say. So, yeah. See you guys in the next one. Well, wouldn't you know, I tried this again and had a 0 intervention drive in this one. But my camera was in time-lapse mode and it didn't really capture anything. But this is me driving to Walmart a couple of days later. And sure enough, did it with ease.